On Good Morning San Diego. Speaking of LaDonna, you've heard her talk about advanced functional medicine. I know LaDonna has struggled, and she even talks about it very openly. Her and I have known each other, oh my gosh, 27 years when we both, I don't know, I started at Kogo, she started at another station and came over, but we've been together literally, and we've been on the air together on shows for many years. But she talks about her struggle with her thyroid, and I know that she's talking about advanced functional medicine. Dr. Matthew Willis is the owner of Advanced Functional Medicine. You hear her talk about it. They've got a website, functionalmedicinesandiego.com, functionalmedicinesandiego.com, and they are reversing disease, and it is a reality, as their moniker says. So let's spend a little bit of time with Dr. Matthew Willis. Dr. Matthew Willis joins us here via Zoom. How are you, sir? Good to talk to you.
Great, Sully. How are you?
Good. I'm healthier now that I'm talking to you. I feel pretty good now.
Well, that's the idea. That's what we like to do here.
Hey, you're the founder and director of Advanced Functional Medicine here in San Diego. You've been awarded Best Medical Clinic in San Diego 3 years consecutively.
That's right.
You're a practicing doctor, so you're not just the guy who has the doctor letters at the end of your name. You're actually hands-on, literally. Talk about talk about your online book, The Truth About Type 2 Diabetes. Talk about what's going on, and talk about how people can maybe benefit from coming by and having a chat with you.
I'd love to do that. In fact, it's one of my favorite things to do. And we've been giving lectures all over San Diego talking about what functional medicine is. And in a nutshell, all it is medicine by cause versus medicine by symptom. And, in a chronic setting, oftentimes patients, they go to their doctor and they get 5 minutes with the doctor, if they're lucky sometimes, and they're given prescriptive drug after prescriptive drug after prescriptive drug, and they're getting symptoms. They're not getting better. Some of them are getting worse. And what functional medicine does is it gets to the root cause. So we run tests that they don't get with their doctors. We dig deep into diagnostics to uncover, why do you have these symptoms? Why are you developing insulin resistance? Or why is your blood pressure high when somebody the same age as you doesn't have that? So we dig deep to find out those reasons so we can back the patient out of that and give them a lifelong solution so they're not dependent upon medications and they don't have to live with the effects of that disease.
His name is Dr. Matthew Willis. He's the owner of Advanced Functional Medicine. He joins us here on San Diego Business Weekend. I'm fond of saying when I first started in radio, I was a taco shy of 400 pounds. After myself and the San Diego State crew team, back when I was going to SDSU, we were in the centerfold of GQ. So I was built like my cameraman Action Jackson here at the Loft 100 Studios, and then I was a victim of my own success. Now I started getting on a bicycle and started spinning, and I started lifting weights and surfing again, and suddenly I got back in shape. Now there's people that they do that and nothing's happening, and that's what you're talking about, correct?
Right. That's right. And this goes a little deeper and a little bit beyond that. And oftentimes you can manage symptoms by, trying to lose weight. You can starve yourself and lose those couple of pounds, but eventually you're going to have to eat again. And when you do, oftentimes what happens is it all comes back on again. So what we're interested in is finding out what's really going on underneath it all. Why is it that your body is doing something differently that somebody else's is? So by looking into these diagnostics, coming up with a plan that works for you both nutritionally and dietarily based on your own physiology, the medicine is individualized. It's personalized to that person. It's targeted. So that's why they get these rapid results. And if you read our reviews online, you'll understand a little bit more about us and how people are able to eliminate medication. They reverse their disease, whether it's cardiovascular disease, autoimmunity, diabetes, some of the issues that LaDonna's been dealing with. She's been here 6 weeks and she's feeling so much better already.
Well, she seems happier. And she also, listen, because if Mama's not happy, Dr. Matt, nobody's happy. So let's, I can tell that. No, she's fantastic. And I know that she's there's a reason she's endorsing you, because her life is changing. I'm going to get a ton of emails off of this this interview. I know you know that. And I think I'm going to assume one of the most pervasive emails you get is, Dr. Matthew, I'm trying everything I can do and nothing is happening. I would assume that's one of those things where you're sitting across the examination desk and having to tell the story. Look, you guys dig a little deeper with your blood work, you dig a little deeper with everything else. Talk about that. What can someone expect when they come to see you?
Well, you're right. I think the average patient that comes here will say that they've been to doctor to doctor to doctor, They've been complaining of the same issues for many years. They're not getting better. The only intervention that they're offered is a prescriptive intervention of some sort, and they're not satisfied with that solution. So when they come here, I mean, the types of tests we run, for instance, we'll run a blood test, which they're used to getting, but our blood test is much different than the blood test they're used to getting. I mean, we look at every organ, every system, every biomarker, every inflammatory marker that we can see, so we can understand the body as more of a blueprint. So we know exactly what we need to be doing to change or to back that patient out of that scenario. You know, we'll run food sensitivity testing, digestive testing, hormonal testing, and really leave no stone unturned, so to speak. So whatever we're going to do with them is appropriate to what we're finding, and that's why it works so quickly and rapidly for them.
If people want more information, they can go to functionalmedicinesandiego.com, functionalmedicinesandiego.com. I would argue you can go to kogo.com, keyword LaDonna, send her an email, so I'm sure, because she loves talking about this, and I love that she loves talking about this. Would this be called the intersection of Western medicine and Eastern medicine, Dr. Willis?
Well, you know, I've heard that before, and I don't know that I really like that idea of being more of a merging. I think it's just more taking time with the patient and covering their issues and treating them appropriately to that. So I don't know if it's really a merge between Western and Eastern. Some may call it that, and if you feel better calling it that, that's okay. But I think it's just a different way to look at disease as a whole. Instead of just giving you a prescriptive drug to mask a symptom that you're dealing with, let's look at what the problem is underneath that caused it to begin with.
Hey,
because once we get rid of the problem, the symptom goes away and you don't have to worry much about it anymore.
I have a question for you. By the way, talking to Dr. Matthew Willis, he is with Advanced Functional Medicine right here on News Radio 600 Kogo on San Diego Business Weekend, and the website there, functionalmedicinesandiego.com. Of course, you've heard LaDonna, the co-host of San Diego Morning News right here, talk about them often. During COVID, there was a rumor that more people were buying Peloton bikes and more people were buying talk about the job numbers. I don't talk about the Bureau of Labor Statistics because I don't trust the government numbers, but I do trust ADP, the private sector payrolls. You're sort of that guy. You're the tip of the spear. Would you agree that we've gotten in better shape during COVID, or is it about the same, or has it gotten worse?
It's gotten worse.
Yeah.
The feedback that I've gotten is people, they overindulged in comfort foods. They overindulged in a more of a relaxed lifestyle. You know, even the little things of even going out to get your food, they haven't been doing that. They've been ordering it directly to their homes. So there wasn't much activity going on. There wasn't much in the realms of nutrition. And now that people are sort of coming out of their cave, so to speak, they're finding out, wait a minute, I'm a little bit heavier. My health problems are a little bit worse, and I better do something about it.
There was a reason that you guys were awarded Best Medical Clinic in San Diego 3 years running. Talk about that, and how can people get involved in you, and what can they expect when they see you? And is it all comers, or are there a specific a tribe of people that you're looking for in terms of disease and so on and so forth?
Well, I think the reason, to answer your question, why did we get Best Clinic 3 years in a row, is we spend time with our patients. It's not a 5-minute process. And I've been known to sit down with a patient for hours at a time, talking about, you know, all the little issues they've been dealing with, all the symptoms, to make sure that we come up with a plan that's going to work well for them, is going to meet and exceed their expectations in terms of their healthcare goals. But really, the types of patients that we see here, you know, cardiovascular patients, weight loss patients, autoimmunity, digestive issues, anxiety, depression, neurological issues. I just had a consultation this morning with a Parkinson's patient. So we can help just about anybody. I think what we're best known for is diabetes.
Yeah.
And it's such a prevalent disease. But reversing diabetes and getting people off these medications, getting their energy back, giving them that quality of life that they're looking for, that's really our niche here. And
you're talking about, I'm assuming, primarily adult onset. That's preventable in many cases, correct?
That's right. There is a difference between type 1 and type 2, and a lot of people don't know the difference. Type 1 is not reversible. It's unfortunate. There's some hope maybe with some stem cell therapy in the future, but it's the type 2 that is reversible. because it's caused by something called insulin resistance, which has many different triggers that cause it. So what we do is we look for those triggers that are causing the insulin resistance for that particular person and back them out of it so it goes away entirely.
Dr. Matthew Willis is our guest, Advanced Functional Medicine, functionalmedicinesandiego.com. Before I let you out of here today, are you starting your free dinner talks again and so on and so forth? And is it still free for type 2 diabetics and their guests?
Yeah, so throughout San Diego County, we've been doing this for years, is we offer free diabetic seminars. So we choose a restaurant, sometimes we're in North County or East County or South County, all over the county of San Diego, that diabetics can come to. It's free. They can bring a guest. It lasts about an hour. We go through this in detail so you can understand the process. And if after listening to all that, if that's something you want to get involved with, great. You know, if it isn't something you want to get involved with, well, that's okay too. But at least we feed you, we educate you, and we send you on your way.
Well, I'll spread the word out. Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you come back and hang out with us a bit. His name,
I'd love to.
Dr. Matthew Willis, functionalmedicinesandiego.com. By the way, those seminars, if you want to get involved, 858-264-1400. San Diego Business Weekend continues. Coming up, former Mayor Kevin Faulkner. Welcome to your weekend. News Radio 600 Kogo.
Tickets are on sale now for the San Diego Giving Back Raffle. Go to SDRaffle.